Yuan Chu has been transmigrated into a cultivation novel she read in her past life. She had no complaints even if all she was just a side character to drop items for the male lead of the novel. But she worked so hard to become strong, then why did she still lost to Yi Chen Yuan, the male lead of the novel? After the male lead of the novel beat Yuan Chu, while looking down on her, he asks, how is it? Even though you get lucky so often, and grab all of the opportunities before I can, this time though you have totally lost. Do you have anything else to say? At that time while bleeding Yuan Chu calls his name and says fuck your granddaddy. Upon hearing this, Yi Chen Yuan was extremely furious. He attacks Yuan Chu. Yuan Chu gets way too seriously injured. She starts to lose consciousness. While losing consciousness she thinks that she has never been able to defeat the main lead. She thinks this world is bugged and broken. Why is it that even though she owns countless treasures, artifacts and legendary weapons, that is even though she's one realm higher than the male lead, then why was she still played around by him? Yuan Chu is very angry and frustrated, and somehow, she's sucked into a book mysteriously. The Myriad Sword Sect is a peaceful place and its beauty is unparalleled. Yuan Chu suddenly wakes up on the sound of bell and shouts, this Myriad Sword Sect's broken bell is disturbing my sleep again. But then she regains consciousness and gets way too confused. She thinks was not she killed by the male lead. She is shocked to sense her cultivation realm is reduced by half. And then she summons a mirror. Upon seeing her own appearance she's shocked beyond words. She has turned into a child. Yuan Chu thinks wasn't she beaten to death by the male lead? How come she's alive and on top of that she has become a child? A person comes in and says, "Milady, are you awake?" After that the person says that she will help Yuan Chu get dressed. Yuan Chu calls that person Little Chu. Chu tells Yuan Chu that she is invited by the sect leader for a discussion, hence Yuan Chu can't lie on the bed now. After that Yuan Chu thinks, wasn't this the place where I used to stay, in the Myriad Sword Sect? She knows now that she's the seat of Frozen Sword Peak. She thinks, did I reincarnate again? She asks Chu her age. She says, how old is this seat again this year? Chu says that Yuan Chu is 6-year-old this year. Knowing that, Yuan Chu is more shocked than ever. As everyone knows, the journey for cultivation, climbing up realms, is difficult. From Qi condensing stage, foundation building stage, core formation stage, nascent soul stage. Even the most talented person will need 100 years to forcefully reach nascent soul realm. But the Myriad Sword Sect has a genius cultivator who's only 6 but at nascent soul cultivation in the whole history. And that person is none other than Yuan Chu. As for why Yuan Chu was able to reach nascent soul cultivation, it's because her mother used a forbidden technique on her when she was just 3. Exhausting all of her cultivation and lifespan, her mother pushed Yuan Chu from a mortal to a nascent soul cultivator. Yuan Chu is extremely happy right now because she is 6 while Yi Chen Yuan, who is the male lead, is 10 years old. Right now she is at nascent soul cultivation stage and Yi Chen Yuan is only at some unknown level of Qi condensation stage. So she is fully capable of flipping the male lead over right now. She thinks it must be the heavens who took pity on her, and letting her return when the male lead is still young and weak. Letting her have the chance to kill Yi Chen Yuan and take all the treasures which were meant to be for him. She takes out her sword and immediately tries to go where Yi Chen Yuan is. Seeing her getting out, Chu stops Yuan Chu, saying that the sect leader is summoning her for discussion. Yuan Chu cuts her in the middle and says, "Don't bother me." Yuan Chu says in a sarcastic sound, "Discussion? Discussion? Why would a mere child be included in this discussion?" After that she starts standing on her sword and says, "You tell the sect leader uncle that I am going to save the world." After that she flies in the air using her sword. Yuan Chu rides her sword while happily singing, "I ride on this little flying sword to find that tiny male lead." She thinks in her mind that now the male lead, the male lead is hers. While humming la la la, then she happens to stumble at a place named the Tidial Country of Heaven. When she looks at that place, she is shocked because she sees the male lead. The male lead is injured, and bleeding heavily while kneeling down in front of a big guy. Yuan Chu didn't expect that the male lead, whose future is filled with unlimited potential, had such a tragic past. The big guy attacks the male lead and says, "Damn, how dare you hurt me and make my cultivation level drop." He says, "I want you dead." Yuan Chu is bleeding way too heavily and losing consciousness. He blames himself for his family's death. He has tears in his eyes, but he clenches his fist and thinks that if he can survive those who bullied and hurt him, he will take revenge on them. That big guy smiles and says that be grateful for this death. That big guy takes out his sword to attack Yi Chen Yuan while saying go to hell. But that big guy drops dead as a beam of power through his brain. Yi Chen Yuan is shocked and confused but also happy because he has survived. Yi Chen Yuan thinks a strong person saved him. Yuan Chu is the one who killed the big guy. She's annoyed that how could a nobody snatch his prey. If the male leads to die, she's the only one who can kill him, no one else can. Yi Chen Yuan comes forward and says this junior is Yi Chen Yuan and many thanks to the powerful person who saved him. Yuan Chu is shocked to know that Yi Chen Yuan's meridians are broken and he's trash right now. She never thought Yi Chen Yuan will have a moment like this in his life. She's impressed by the fact that he's calm even in this kind of situation, and he's not throwing a fit. But then she's taken aback by her action of saving the male lead. Although she saved him unconsciously, she can't forget her purpose of coming here. She transforms into an adult and uses a voice changer. She goes closer to Yi Chen Yuan and says, "Little kid, I am not here to save you." She says that Yi Chen Yuan has a treasure on him that she desires so much. Yi Chen Yuan understands that Yuan Chu is a nascent soul. Yuan Chu says as the pearl has already recognized you as his master, she has no choice but to kill him to take the treasure. Yuan Chu asks Yi Chen Yuan does he have any last words. Yi Chen Yuan says if he can't escape from this situations then there's no point in begging. He says that if you want to kill me then go ahead and kill me. He has nothing else to say. Yuan Chu feels sorry for him but she pulls herself back that she can't be soft-hearted and condenses a sharp weapon to kill Yi Chen Yuan. Yuan Chu attacks Yi Chen Yuan with the sharp weapon but she stops and thinks that why should she finish him off so easily, shouldn't she exploit him for goods? All that for the ancient mirror. She throws aside the weapon. She thinks she's definitely not soft-hearted, that she only recall of her last life. Yi Chen Yuan says revered cultivator. Yuan Chu thinks that the ancient mirror is Yi Chen Yuan's main weapon. If she kills him wouldn't she have to spend more effort searching for it? Instead of that, should I change it into a win-and-win situation is what Yuan Chu thought. She gets closer to Yi Chen Yuan and says, "Hey, I changed my mind. This great one has decided to spare you. Let bygones be bygones. Now, I ask, do you want to become my discipline?" Yi Chen Yuan asks why. Yuan Chu says, "Hurry up and tell me if you're willing or not. If you are willing, kneel down and pay respect. Before you become powerful I will protect you. But the treasure that you will find I will take 70% and you will take 30%. Yuan Chu says, "If you don't promise I will kill you." "I am serious." Yi Chen Yuan becomes sad and says he is just a crippled person right now. So he is afraid he will let Yuan Chu down. Yuan Chu agrees with what Yi Chen Yuan says but she thinks, so what, you are the male lead. Yuan Chu says I will help you to search for everything you need to repair your Dantian. Yi Chen Yuan says that the materials needed are heaven and earth grade and they are hard to find. Yuan Chu says that is simple, she knows many places having many materials like that. Then, she asks Yi Chen Yuan once again that does he want to acknowledge her as his master. Yi Chen Yuan thinks that even though he is trash right now, Yuan Chu didn't kill him for the treasure but asked his opinion. What else does he need now? Yi Chen Yuan kneels down and says this discipline pays respect to his master.